Hey, hi, hello, my name is Borush, and today I want to talk about an issue I found in Splatoon games that has been bugging me a lot. So one thing I like to do in video games is to fully complete them and achieve everything possible in the game, which pretty much means that I'm a completionist, a person who gets satisfaction from 100%ing every video game their own. I even have some personal records of my own. In 2019, I discovered the Splatoon franchise, bought Splatoon 2, and as with every other video game I have possessed, I wanted to fully complete it as well. So Splatoon itself is mainly a multiplayer game, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have anything to complete. It offers a big variety of things to achieve. Getting to X rank and achieving top 500, getting to professional 999 and beating hazard max in a summer run, beating story mode and completing 100%, and many other things you can challenge yourself with. My major issue, however, is concerning one particular mod called Turf War, and the one major thing you can achieve in it: Freshness flags on weapons. Not to be mistaken with Freshness stars on weapons in Splatoon 3, which brings us to the main point of this video. So, how do Freshness flags work and how do you get them? Let me explain. Back in the first game, the system was called Vibe, and it was an indicator of the number of points you had on your weapon for winning multiple games in a row and applied to any mod. For example, every weapon would start with 0 Vibe level with the title Chill. It changed depending on losses and wins. For example, for winning one match you would get 1 point, and for losing you would, well, lose. Minus 0.5 points if your weapon's freshness points were between 0.5 and 3 toasty level. Starting from 3.5 freshness points on your weapon smoking level, the penalty for losing a match would increase from 0.5 to 1, and once your weapons reached 6.5 freshness points, so hot level, the penalty was minus 1.5 for each loss. Keep in mind that for every win you only get plus 1 point, and that doesn't change no matter what. The system was pretty balanced, and you were also able to get rewards from judge for getting to each freshness level, but sadly there were only 4 levels to get, and getting above 6.5 points wouldn't change anything both visually and mechanically. However, it still looked cool and satisfying to have this max freshness on your weapon. Although I cannot speak for anyone since I didn't have the occasion to play Splatoon 1 myself. In Splatoon 2, the Vibe system was replaced with the Freshness system, and with it a couple of new changes were applied to this system. Points only count in the Turf War mod, which I personally think is really limiting since, as most people know, Turf War mod is really unbalanced, and often only in the last 30 seconds out of the entire 3 minutes of the battle really matter to the final result. Seriously, you can win the match even when you're being spawn camped for the first 2.5 minutes, only manage to spot the whole enemy team in the end, then get out and paint like your life depends on it in the last 30 seconds just to win in the end, making the score during the rest of the game completely irrelevant. Pretty bizarre. They added new titles to the Freshness system, which is a nice upgrade, but the point system also changed. From then on, if you have 0 to 4 points on your weapon, dry title with a grey flag, you would gain 1 point for winning and lose 0.5 points for losing. From 5 to 9 points on your weapon, raw title with a green flag, you both gain or lose 1 point depending on your result. 10 to 14 points, fresh title with an orange flag, meant 1 point for a win and minus 1.5 points for loss. 15 to 19 points, super fresh title with a silver flag, still meant only 1 point for a win, but the penalty increased to minus 2 points for a loss. 20 to 49 points, same title with the same flag color as previous title for some reason. They couldn't think of any other color in Splatoon, which is kinda ironic. Meant 1 point for a win, I think you can see the pattern here, and minus 2.5 points for loss. And finally, for 50 points and above, the final title, Super Fresh, with a gold flag you can get, still only 1 point for wins, and lose minus 3 points for a loss. In Splatoon 3, the freshness system stayed the same as it was in Splatoon 2 for the most part, with only one major change. They deleted one of the flag milestones, Super Fresh title, between 20 and 50 points. So now there is a bigger difference between Super Fresh Silver title 15 points and Super Fresh Gold title 50 points flags, which means that you can only lose 2 points per loss before getting the golden flag, which is a small improvement, I guess. But now that we have outlined this system, let's talk about how it is an issue in Splatoon 3. So, as you probably already realized, the freshness system is full of flaws and indefinite grinding if you wanna get anything done. Considering how unfair and unpredictable Truth War can be from match to match, this feels more like a lag-dependent system than anything related to players' efforts and the time that you spend playing in Paint the Ground for 30 minutes mode. Like I have mentioned before, it doesn't take a lot to lose in the last 30 seconds of Truth War, so your best bet is probably to stay alive for as long as you can by the end of the match. You also have to depend on your teammates staying alive and actually carrying the paint, which as we know is most likely impossible to get in every game. It might be easier to get the final golden flag with a weapon that paints well, like Splash-O-Matic, Junior or Mini Splatling. But what about other weapons, like blasters or chargers? They don't paint well and are team dependent when it comes to painting, so if you want to get far with your freshness on these type of weapons, you better pray to Woomigod for your teammates to paint for you. But I'm not done yet! Look at this point system, it doesn't seem fair to me, considering that I always gain only 1 point for winning one game, but I lose more and more points for losing a match the farther I get with my freshness. To the point where I begin to lose 3 entire points, meaning that for every single loss I now have to play and win another 3 matches just to get back to the amount I was at before that single loss. Ridiculous! Not to mention, there are other factors that can totally screw you over your freshness grind, like disconnecting from the game, which is likely in Splatoon 3. God, this game connection is awful. Squid parties, which will like a double-edged sword since they can allow you to paint the whole map without needing to fight and get you an easy win, or they can ruin your whole game because it might happen that only your teammates are interested in partying, leaving you with no support to fight against the entire team in what is basically 1 versus 4, or really bad matchmaking in Truth War. Apparently there is some sort of skill-based matchmaking, like in ranked mode, the Glico system, but I truly don't think anyone can say that they have ever played a well-balanced tour game in their life. I saw some sort of matchmaking in Splatoon 2 in lower levels, but in Splatoon 3 it feels completely random no matter your level or skill power. In the end of the day, for all of your grinding you don't even get a reward like you could in Splatoon 1. The only things you can get is a cosmetic change on your weapons flag indicator, and a boost to your experience level. Only in Splatoon 2 though. In Splatoon 3 you get no XP bonus, which for the most people is quite understandably not even considerably worth putting their time into. It will probably only satisfy completionist gamers like me that don't mind putting a lot of time to get a funny, colorful flag, which is a shame because this could be something more players could get involved with. So after all of this ranting, is there actually any way to fix the problem? Personally, I don't mind playing a ton of Truth War matches, even if they are completely unfair in most cases. There is a big can of worms that I'm afraid can ever be solved. But my main issue is the point system. In my opinion, the developers should change the point system to be even for both winning and losing. So 1 point for a win and 1 point for a loss, no matter of your current level of freshness. Considering that probably only a small portion of Splatoon 3 players care about those flags, I see no issue for developers to change the system to something like this. It would still require a lot of grinding from players to get a cosmetic change for their weapon freshness flag, but at least the time you would spend to get this flag would feel way more fair and rewarding. I personally spent hours and hours grinding in Splatoon 2 to get around 40 to 50 gold freshness flags, which I'm very proud of and satisfied by. And yet, it came with a lot of unnecessary stress and grinding, which didn't make this challenge fun at all. It could have been a nice addition in the game for players to get after playing a ton of Turf War and help make this mod somewhat enjoyable and worth play. But sadly, Splatoon developers decided for this achievement to be miserable and almost impossible to get. At the end of the day, I'm aware that the main point of this video will probably be swept under the rug, since realistically barely anyone cares about Turf Wars nowadays, and the achievement is nothing but a cosmetic change. But as a person who finds it very satisfying to complete every video game 100%, this is an important issue and I would like to express myself on it. You never know, Splatoon developers could possibly notice my video and maybe change something. This is also my first commentary video, and I'm trying to see how well I'm working with this type of video and how much people like this type of content. So if you liked it, please share it around the Splatoon community and leave a like and subscribe for more content from me. It's a different type of a video than my usual content, shitposts and memes, but please leave your thoughts in the comment section. I love discussing different topics with people and I care about every opinion. For now, thanks for watching, take care out there, and have a nice day.